Change is the law of life, and those who focus on the past or present are certain to miss the future. A very good morning to one and all present here. Today, I, Dr. Swati, on behalf of School of Leadership and Management, feel elated to host the inaugural session of International Conference MRCON 2024. We are delighted to have you join us as we embark on an enlightening journey exploring the theme of sustainable growth through digital innovation. Light is a symbol of brightness, prosperity, and blessings. To begin with the event in a pious manner and to invoke blessings from the Almighty, I invite our esteemed dignitaries on the dais to please come forward for the lamp lighting. Thank you, everyone. Before beginning with the inaugural session, I request Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. Sanjay Srivastav and PVC Dr. Naresh Grover Sir to kindly present token of our reverence and gratitude to our chief guest, Mr. Bibhuti Ranjan Pradhan, Executive Director, Indian Oil Institute of Petroleum Management. Sir, we are indeed honored by your kind gesture of consenting to be the chief guest. Thank you, sir. I also request our Dean Research, Dr. Sarita Sachdev, to welcome and felicitate our guest of honor, Can we have a huge round of applause, please? I also request the dignitaries to please welcome and felicitate our guest of honor, Professor Dr. René Ruth, MD, International Management College, Germany, for his kind presence in the international conference. We welcome you, sir. Thank you, everyone. At the School of Leadership and Management, we believe in the transformative power of digital innovation to drive sustainable growth and foster positive change in the world. Today, we have the privilege of coming together to engage in meaningful dialogue, exchange valuable insights, and chart a course towards a future where technology serves as a catalyst for sustainable development. I hereby invite Dr. Deepti Dabas-Hazarika, Dean of School Leadership and Management, to set the ball rolling for MRCON 2024. Can we please have a huge round of applause? Thank you.
Good morning. On this bright sunny day, it is my privilege to stand before this dignified gathering. On behalf of the MRIIRS fraternity, particularly on behalf of the School of Leadership and Management, it's heartening to be blessed with motivating presence of towering personalities and avid researchers. The team of the School of Leadership and Management is delighted to have amongst us today the chief guest for MRCON 2024, Mr. Vibhuti Ranjan Pradhan, spearheading efforts at the Indian Oil Institute of Petroleum Management as the Executive Director. We are also thankful to Dr. Rene Ruth, representing our knowledge partner, International Management College, Frankfurt, Germany. Sir has flown in specially for MRCON and has landed at New Delhi yesterday. Heartfelt welcome and much gratitude for gracing this occasion here today. We are also blessed and feel encouraged to have been joined by Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Dr. Sanjay Srivastav. Sir, ever thankful for all the guidance. But sir, I must confess that it's always awe-inspiring to take the stage in your presence. Steering us in the positive direction towards constructive academic and research efforts, it is an honor to welcome Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor MRIIRS, Professor Dr. Naresh Grover, sir, and the epitome of research efforts at the university, Executive Director and Dean Research, Professor Dr. Sarita Sachdev, ma'am. Dignitaries on the dais and eminent senior members of MRIIRS fraternity and participants at MRCON. Team SLM welcomes you and is ever grateful for your presence here today. It is extremely motivating for us, as also for this gathering of research scholars, academicians, and industry representatives. I would like to share a quote here. The sentiment is well reflected in a quote from Jean Vanier, which says, "One of the marvelous things about community is that it enables us to welcome people in a way we could not have welcomed as individuals. That is the beauty of the MRIIRS fraternity when we host programs such as MRCON." On this note, I take this opportunity to share a little glimpse of the School of Leadership and Management. It's not just a school or a university department. It's a movement which is fueled by passion every moment. As one of the founding departments of the university, SLM has come from strength to strength with an alumni base of approximately 3,500 plus, drawing from our BBA and MBA programs. As a business school, while we equip our students with the necessary toolkit for managerial competencies, evolving technologies, theories, and concepts through slices of industry, real-life experiences, and much more, what lies at the core of the experience at the School of Leadership and Management is that all our programs are training programs, not just a collection of academic courses. With this, our intent is to drive the point home to our students that to remain relevant and in the reckoning, one must unlearn and learn, ideate, innovate, and create, but most importantly, remain firmly grounded, develop character and competence, value all that you have, be thankful, and then be sure that things will surely fall in place. MRCON echoes this very spirit, sustainable growth through digital innovation. Our sincere gratitude for all to have joined us today, Wishing everyone great, sustained learning. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for appropriately setting the context for MRCON 2024. I hereby extend my invitation to Dr. Priyanka Singh, convener of MRCON, to provide us with an overview of this two-day international conference.
A very good morning, esteemed guests on the stage, distinguished colleagues, participants, and students. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I, Dr. Priyanka Singh, on behalf of the convening team and team of School of Leadership and Management, take this opportunity to present the overview of this 5th edition of MRCON. The theme of the conference this year is Sustainable Growth Through Digital Innovation. The MRCON journey started 5 years ago when Padam Shri Dr. Pritam Singh laid the foundation of this remarkable journey. It was Sir's vision for School of Leadership and Management that kept us inspired to continue this journey. At the same time, whenever we found ourselves weaker, we always received unconditional support from our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Sanjay Srivastava Sir. This conference stands as a testament to Sir's unwavering dedication to excellence, and we are truly grateful for the privilege of working alongside such a distinguished leader. While talking about MRCON, I must mention Professor Dhamija's name, who in his tenure as Dean FMS guided and supported us in taking this initiative to the next level. And we are fortunate that our current Dean, Dr. Deepti Dabas, who is a torchbearer herself and believe in leading from the front, always facilitated and motivated us to get going. So the journey continues. As I mentioned that this is the 5th edition of MRCON, the previously conducted editions were conducted on different themes, but the common thread was sustainability. This year, when we were thinking about the theme for MRCON 2024, sustainability was a natural choice, and then we started brainstorming about the extension of this theme to make it more contextual and contemporary. After much deliberations, we unanimously agreed on digital innovation, as sustainability and digital innovation together makes a theme that intertwines progress with responsibility and growth with sustainability. We are proud of our partnering organization like MRIIRS Slovenia in 2022, ICSSR in 2023, our guests from industry, academicians from eminent institutions like BHU, IIFT, FOR, LBSIM, MDI, who associated with us for the earlier editions of MRCON. I'm happy to share that this time we are conducting MRCON 2024 in association with International Management College, Frankfurt, Germany. Talking about this year's theme, which is in perfect alignment of university's policy and commitment to fostering the research and innovation culture. Today we stand on the cusp of a profound transformation. The era of digital innovation has ushered in a new dawn where the very fabric of our existence is interwoven with the threads of technology. In the realm of digital innovation, the possibilities are boundless, from artificial intelligence to blockchain, from the Internet of Things to big data analytics. We find ourselves at the point of technological renaissance. However, as we harness the power of these innovations to drive our economies and societies forward, we must do so with a keen eye towards sustainability. Sustainable growth on the canvas of digital innovation demands that we tread lightly upon the earth, that we nurture rather than deplete our precious resources. It requires us to think not only of the present, but also of the future, to consider the impact of our actions on generations yet unborn. It implores us to innovate not just for profit, but for the betterment of all. This two-day conference has been divided into 7 sub-themes: economies of growth and development, women empowerment and gender equality, organizational dynamics, sustainability reporting and materiality, green supply chain management, social green entrepreneurship, cross-culture management in international business. As we gather here, let us embrace the opportunities that lie ahead and the transformative power of ideas exchanged in this forum. Together, let us ignite curiosity, inspire change, and create a better future through the discussions and deliberations that will unfold in the coming sessions. May this conference be the beacon of inspiration and a catalyst for positive change in our world. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and distinguished colleagues, as we embark on this journey towards sustainable growth, let us remember that the choices we make today will shape the world of tomorrow. With this, I once again welcome you all to this 2-day conference that I am sure will make a significant contribution to research and academia. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for taking us through this remarkable journey of MRCON. It's my privilege to call upon Professor Dr. Sarita Sachdeva, Executive Director and Dean Research, MRIIRS, to throw some light on research ecosystem at our university. I welcome you, ma'am.
A very good morning to all the dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, participants, faculty members, colleagues, and dear students. This morning I have been entrusted with this duty of to say a few words on research. For me, research means several dimensions, and for you, I'm sure it also has a different definition. Well, when you say about research, the first word comes into our mind is the researcher. And the beauty of this word is that when we are researcher, everything dissolves, only that we are a community which believes in doing research and dissipating research. Research at universities, it involves various disciplines, various topics, various areas, and to other extent also amalgamation of all these areas together to what we call as multidisciplinary research. At Manav Rachna, it is my 22nd year, and all these years I have seen how research has grown from level 1 to what we are today. When we started very early in 2008, research was only limited to a factor that our faculty members were encouraged to go forward, attend workshops, seminars, and symposium. The objective of that was to now create an ecosystem which we call as research ecosystem. So these faculty members, when they were literally pushed at that time, go out, see what is happening, look into those areas where you can move forward with your creativity, with your research. So a good 2 to 3 years was invested in this effort and pushing our researchers out from the four walls of Manav Rachna. Yes, it did lead to foundation stone when these people came back and there were lots of excitement in the environment as far as research is concerned. And here started a journey where the focus was not only in academics, but also in research. So people started doing research, selecting areas, and very soon they found themselves to interacting with people of other disciplines. So we moved to translational and multidisciplinary research. Here was a time when I was so proud seeing these young faculty members going out and presenting their work. We started moving to different platforms and then moving into the most important vital lifeline of research is to bring funding back to the campus. Research projects started coming in and people started working in focus areas. And very soon this research was translated into societal benefit. Then came a time when we thought let's take up the other dimension, that is the consultancy. People who were good at one technology or expertise started putting it forward to the industries. We started knocking the doors of industry and started telling them that yes, here we are people from academia and we can help you in your work. And consultancy started. But with this, publications were there always. People published and published well. This helped them not only to take up their research at individual level, but also in the classroom, it led to rich dividends. The students, they started, after you go, you teach a particular topic, and there is a time when you start telling them about your research also, in an informal way. And that is how it starts going to the students. Realizing this, we started a very unique course that is RCI first and then DTI. And that is how today we are also having a startup and incubation center at the campus. Research has a very vital dimension, what we call as ethics. It not only teaches you community feeling, but it also tells you how to be completely ethical in your approach. When we do research in an ethical way, yes, it gives its backbone that what we do is correct and it can be translated anywhere within Manav Rachna, outside Manav Rachna, or outside the country. So researcher as a person, or researcher when it comes to doing his or her work, has that power to tell the world that this is what I'm contributing for the societal benefit, and also adding to the knowledge which is pre-existing. Time frames keep changing, decades keep moving forward, and that is how we build the knowledge. The knowledge which we use and the one which will be a house of reference for the generations to come. Students, when you are studying in your courses, you are being also taught how to do research. But believe me, you are not the only one to be indulging in research. Your mother back home is also equally doing research, right? Whole day at home, or maybe in office and partially at home. She also does research as what should I cook? What should I do? How should I plan my weekend for my family, for my kids? That is also a color of research. So in a way, research is there in almost our all walks of life. Whatever we think, we do some preliminary investigations, whether I should indulge myself into that particular activity or not. That is also research. So it is not something that we are supposed to do when we are told to do it. Research is what it is within us. It happens out, it moves out. The only thing is we have to give it a little push. That we keep doing many things, academics, administrative, non-administrative, but we are at the back of the mind. Research is always knocking at within yourself that please let me also come forward and do what you are supposed to do. So please let your researcher within you grow equally along with your all interests, so that tomorrow we can help the society to grow in an ethical and holistic manner. Thank you so much for this opportunity. These conferences are meant to realize this, and also they contribute to this knowledge. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Indeed, research is an integral part in our lives. With utmost gratitude and respect, I welcome Professor Dr. René Ruth, who is the co-founder and managing director of the International Management College and the Institute for Management Education Culture in Germany. Sir has more than 10 years of enriched experience in international corporations with a focus on Asian and Arabian markets. He has worked for leading German companies and held numerous positions in strategic marketing, business development, and global product management. I invite you, sir, to kindly share your perspectives on sustainability with all of us gathered here today. I welcome you, sir.
Namaste and good morning, everybody. I hope you can all hear me. Now the sound is much better. Yeah. First of all, I want to thank the Vice Chancellor, the Dean, the professors, and all the faculty members. It's great to be here, and it's an honor to be here and part of your international conference. Thank you very much. Yeah, I did my PhD more than 20 years ago. It was about a quite new topic. It was about sustainability. More than 20 years ago, industry and universities didn't really know how to deal with this very new topic. They didn't know how to set it up in an organization. They didn't know how to set up standards for reporting and so on. So it was great to be one of the young researchers working on the topic of CSR. Another big milestone was about 10 years ago, where I had the chance to cooperate with different kind of researchers, professors and experts from India. And we wrote a book about CSR in India, and I could be part of this international arrangement. Later on, I also had the chance to present some results at a big conference in Mumbai, and now it's fantastic to be here, part of this conference. Thank you very much. I have some slides for you so that you can have a closer understanding about the International Management College in Frankfurt, Germany. I think it's very also interesting for you to see what is our education approach, what is our research approach, so you get a closer understanding about International Management College. First of all, our Management College is located in Frankfurt, Germany. Germany is in the heart of beautiful Europe, and Frankfurt is in the heart of Germany. It's fantastic because Frankfurt is a very, very international city, and we have companies from across the world, from the US, from Arabian area, but also from India, like the Tata Group, for example. So we also welcome and invite talents and experts from India as well to work for German companies. Here you have a short look on our very, very modern International Management College. In the neighborhood, we have a big industry, and this is very important for our Management College because we have strong contact with all our industry partners, and we educate the talents for the companies. We train the future leaders like you to be successful managers in the companies in the future. What is our specific education approach? I think this is very interesting to see and understand. We offer a wide range of master's and MBA programs, but not only we do not only focus on all these subjects. What we see is very important also in individual business coaching, because training the business personality, developing the business personality, learning to work as a leader is very, very important for every individual, but also for the companies. And on top of that, we also have a very, very exclusive career network, because we believe vitamin B and a good career network is very, very essential for young talents and future leaders like you. We have, as I mentioned before, we have a quite wide range of masters and MBA programs. We offer these programs on campus, but also on hybrid. I think hybrid teaching is a part of the future, and we focus very much on international management or general management, as well as leadership and digital business. And I think these disciplines fits very much to the School of Leadership here at Manavraja University, and also to you, dear students. I think leadership is or sustainable leadership is a very, very essential component in modern management. And we believe that we have the target to develop and educate the leaders, the future leaders of tomorrow. But we also offer a wide range of online certification programs. We have workshops with the industry like KPMG, Accenture, SAP, and all the other big names, because we believe learning from practical expert is very essential for the career as well. And also we offer a wide range of study trips to show students how business is running across the globe. So we invite German students to make their experience in the international environment, and that was the reason why we were here at New Delhi in last November, just 4 months ago. But we also traveled to Dubai, we traveled to Bangkok and Singapore to show the young talents how business is going on and how to behave in an international environment. Here you can see some experts and lecturers at our management college. We also believe that highly motivated and very very well educated experts are the basis for a good or excellent study program. Here you can see some pictures of our students. A big part of our students are from Germany, but we also invite international students from South America, from the Arab region, and we also have some students from India as well. This is a very fantastic mix, and it's a good basis for changing knowledge and changing experiences. Most of our students are already working, so they come from different kind of industry sectors like consulting, like IT, technology, transportation, banking, or tourism and industry sector. Though this is also a very, very positive effect, because they can exchange their experience and they can exchange their knowledge from their specific industry sector. So young talents from Amazon, young talents from German banks, young talents from Tata Group, for example, share their experience and their knowledge, and they can learn from each other. Yeah, a big focus, as I mentioned before, is also on online trainings and online workshops. Yeah, we invite experts from very renowned international companies like KPMG, like Accenture, as you can see here, Morgan Stanley, Commerzbank, and so on, to really teach the students the practical aspects, the practical insights, so they can really benefit from the knowledge of the senior managers or CEOs of these companies. And maybe this is also a topic where we want to cooperate a little bit stronger in the near future. I already discussed this with Dr. Soma. And finally, I want to show you, we also invite international students to come to Germany. I think Germany is a very important and relevant market for the European Union, and we invite students to make the experience to learn also in Germany. Before Corona, we had the chance to invite students from IIT Delhi. We invite students from NIT Mumbai, and they make very beautiful experience. They learned very much in terms of engineering, in terms of leadership in Germany as well. Okay. Thank you very much for this short introduction. I'm really delighted to be here, part of the presentation. I already met so much beautiful people and so much experienced people, so I'm really, really sure it will be great 2 days here at your conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for such a thought-provoking address. Your words add greater meaning to the essence of this conference. We are deeply honored to have with us today Mr. Bibhuti Ranjan Pradhan, Executive Director, Indian Oil Institute of Petroleum Management. Sir has more than 30 years of highly endured experience in diverse areas ranging from CSR, off-grid solar projects to carbon neutrality. Sir has been an esteemed member of Government of India's CSR and Sustainability Guidelines Drafting Committee for the CPs. He is also a member of expert group on responsible business constituted by Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India. Sir, we wholeheartedly welcome you to deliver the inaugural address.
Good morning, everybody. Professor Dr. Sanjay Srivastav ji, Dr. Dipti ji, Dr. Priyanka ji, Dr. Sarita ji, Dr. Ruth, coming all the way from Germany, and Dr. Soma, who has been talking to me all the while, and eminent professors who are sitting right in the front row, eminent, very eminent people. Dr. Sanjay has been briefing me about few credentials that you are holding, and when I looked at the list of people who are sitting in the dais and right here, I saw that like all are doctors. I am the only man who is out of place here. And this side of the stage and that side of the stage, perhaps I should be excused for not getting into certain things which will be encroaching in your domain. Few things which I must say. Before I say that, it is a pleasure to be here, Dr. Sanjay. Thank you for the invitation. It's a beautiful campus. And if I would not have come here, perhaps that would have remained. There is a small gap in my heart that why didn't I come here? Few things what my predecessor said before me, to take from Dr. Dipti's your words, very, very pivotal and very fundamental to the theme of today, which is sustainability one part, digital innovation another part. She talked about unlearning. How many of us actually practice it? Unlearning is what you have acquired through your life in 20, 30, 40 years, young people there, maybe few years only, you are allowing it to be killed. And that's the only process to ensure that new things are taken roots. That is an element of personal sustainability. We talk a lot, whenever you talk about sustainability, the process of measurement, the process of identifying resources, mostly 99% of times it's about elements of environment. How many times we talk about personal sustainability? That I as a human being, I have to unlearn. I have to be thankful. Dr. Dipti talked about it, that I have to be thankful. And I remember a program long back made by Oprah Winfrey in her show, that how should you be thankful to other people. The program was about a person who pays for the car parking fee for the car owner who is behind me. And Oprah Winfrey is standing there with a microphone and asking the people, of course, the person next to in front of you have already paid the car parking fee. What is that you will do with the $5 that has already been paid for? Then there are many responses. I'll donate this $5 to somebody else. But the core issue is about being thankful. And that is a critical element of personal sustainability. Dr. Sanjay knows a lot about Bhagavad Gita and how much it talks about being thankful to people. We all are almost, we have heard of it. And in addition to environment sustainability, I think there is a need amongst the academia, amongst people in general, amongst the corporates, that we need to teach this facet of personal sustainability. If I am not having a good relationship with my spouse, with my children, with my people around me, I have to sustain. And that is where I'm getting my energy from. The other energy is something else, which is fossil fuels, which you all talk about it, but nobody talks about a person, how you will be sustainable. So thank you, Dr. Dipti, for raising these two very critical issues that you need to unlearn. Very powerful philosophy. You need to be thankful. Dr. Priyanka talked about treating with a very light touch on the earth, and that is the element of environment sustainability. Plenty of elements to what is the resources that we are consuming here, because we perhaps around 60 people are here, 60, 70 people. Because we are here, what kind of resources of this earth you are consuming? So that is what she talked about, treading the path ever so slowly on Mother Earth. And Dr. Sarita very nicely talked about business ethics. Now this ethics, nobody talks about ethics when you talk about sustainability or digital innovation, no? When you talk about sustainability and digital innovation, is it possible that digital innovation can give you a drop of water? It cannot, but digital innovation has a much bigger role to play. Digital innovation would be about setting these processes and systems to see how our work is having less imprint on the Mother Earth. That I will use less resources, be it water, be it fossil fuels, be it air, be it generating of waste, be it even using paper. Dr. Ruth talked about your institute. Perhaps many already students are coming to your institute for sustainability, and there is a big program. But you know, one thing I must share, that as a generation, Dr. Sanjay, if you will agree with me, as a generation, that is our generation, in last 30, 40 years, it would not be an overstatement if I say we failed this younger generation for sustainability. And why do I say that? Even without going into the details of why we failed, you are going to nod your head. Now, is there something that we can do about it? There is a lot of politics, business, and economics which are related to this failure. And also there is a lot of individual attitude which is related to this failure. Now, all these attitudinal failures, why nobody is talking about it or nobody is ascribing motive to this, is because nobody is in a position legally or otherwise to levy a penalty for this non-performance. Take for example, this Bangalore crisis today. It's very fresh in our mind. Today, as we speak, perhaps 1 million housewives since morning would be standing in the queue with all the buckets in their hands, waiting for water. Water is not available. Instead of 600 rupees, you are paying close to 5,000, still the tanker doesn't come. Now, do you think Bangalore is the only city which is having this trouble? We are lucky here, perhaps a river is passing by. We are lucky here, perhaps because the water table is still available. But are we aware that 20 years back, when the water table in Bangalore itself was available at a depth of around 40 to 50 feet, today even after 1,600 feet, water is not available. And how many lakes were there in Bangalore? Just 20 years back or 25 years back, there are 220 lakes in Bangalore. 220 lakes in Bangalore, and water was not a problem. What is the best way to find out what is the water depth? There is no technology today in that sense. Seismic survey has to be done, expensive. But what is the best way that you and I, a farmer, finds out that what depth water is available? Go to the nearest well. Thus measure the depth of the well where water is available, that is the water table. But all the wells have gone dry. All the lakes have gone dry. or contaminated to such an extent, just like Jamuna River, that you cannot even put your feet into the waters of these rivers. Now, who is responsible and why this has happened? Now, this is something, we are not very far off, by the way. Being sitting in NCR region, are you or all of us aware of the fact there is an area called Braj area, which is Vrindavan? Noida is not far off. In Braj area, Noida, what is the TDS? TDS levels are 900 plus. And what is the potable water TDS? It has to be between 50 and 100. Now, if you go to Braj, potable water is not available. Why Bangalore has come to the front pages of newspapers? Because it's a mega city. Braj is not a mega city, nobody bothers. And if you go east of further Noida, there are plenty of problems. Go to Raebareli. Nobody talks about it. Why? Because political capital is not available. Now, but alternate options are available. But the point I am trying to say is, the responsibility of evaluating the value of resources is something that each one of us, we cannot say that it is only for the politician to decide. Yes, executive has a power to play. Executive has a much bigger role to play. But so are we. Last many years, when I say that we have failed because the value of resources have not been attributed by the powers that be. The municipalities, the authorities have not been able to ascribe a reasonable value to the resources which otherwise we think that this is free. This is freely available. For example, in this campus itself, it's a green campus. You got plenty of trees, right? But the fact that we have to be in an air-conditioned environment, the fact that we have to be comfortable, somebody can take a project here, that what is the carbon emission because of the campus running here, air conditions running here, and how much carbon dioxide is getting sequestered because of the trees. And the solar panels you have at the top perhaps, you must be having. So solar panel is an offset maker, tree is an offset maker. Somebody can take a small project to find out if I am responsible for emitting, let's say 100 kilograms of carbon dioxide in a day, but my tree and my solar panel is able to offset that by this many kilograms. Then two things I am doing. Dr. Sanjay, two things can be achieved there. One, my team, entire MRU team will be aware that what is my carbon footprint. That awareness is very important. The second part of the project is each successive batch of students would know that not only I am emitting, I am stopping this emission by ABCD means. One, this is about the emission. I would talk a little bit about the brass tack numbers. Strategy, we have talked a lot. You are aware of a lot of strategies as to what the world is taking. The Dubai conference recently. Now, little bit of an offset of this numbers, emission numbers. When I talk about carbon dioxide emission, this is the typical emission that we call it greenhouse gas emissions. The 6 gases that constitute the greenhouse gas emissions. Now, the reason of failure need to be emphasized, so that we need to unlearn that what Dr. Dabas was talking about in the beginning. What is the unlearning that we need to do here? Last 20 years, you take one marker year 2002, today 2024. In 20 years, the total quantum of emissions worldwide has gone up by 1.5 times. That time, we were emitting close to 25 to 26 billion tons of carbon dioxide. And today, we are emitting, world as a whole, 40 billion tons of carbon dioxide every year. So what happened to all these conferences that were we just meet to decide when to meet next, and we need to make a promise. And what is the promise that is made in Dubai? That the 2019 levels of emission, which is again 40 billion tons. Why 2020 and 22 there is no change? Because of the corona, the pandemic. This is the only year. 2020 and 21 are the only 2 years in the history of last 60 years. The emission dipped. So are we supposed to wait for a pandemic for the emission to dip? Now imagine, this is powerful thinking, at least thinking wise we need to appreciate that if the politicians failed, if the powers that be executives didn't work out, if the policies didn't have the direction in terms of brass tacks as to what is to be done, that is there something that the intelligentsia sitting on this side of the stage or that side and the students on that side can do something. This is the policy. Supreme Court judgment 2 days back is talking about primarily what? That policy direction Government of India has to take. That is the process that has to be followed, not necessarily Supreme Court, but all the public, private interface, all the forums which are available have to be touched to see that tomorrow you price. Do you know today government authorities, the government IS officers, many are here only, we talk about how much you are paying today for water in Delhi. It was perhaps 300 rupees, 8-10 years back, 15 years back. Today, what is the rate? I'll not be surprised. They're paying 6,000 to 7,000 rupees. I don't know, but that's what I was told by one of the IS officers. Why? Because it is cross-subsidized. Now, if somebody is paying 6,000 rupees per month, why not everybody else? This is the only. Without a person having an attitudinal difference towards the resources, the only way to so-called achieve that. To achieve the objective is the so-called way of penalization. And penal interest have to be, penal cost has to be levied on the person to say, today we are taking in oxygen. Do you know what is the cost of oxygen? We are taking carbon dioxide in as well. Now this oxygen, if you calculate the glass of water, fresh water, you are drinking one glass, the cost of that would be anything between 60, 70, 80, 100 rupees. You don't know. And even every bit of oxygen that we are intaking. So the point I'm trying to say is, yes, we have a role to play. The role that we need to play is personal level. 4 or 5 things have to be done. Before that, if I just, as an institute, do you know how much paper you are using, Dr. Sanjay? As an institute here, is there an accounting code available by the finance persons? We don't do it.
After this, I will give you data also, but we have reduced by 60%.
True, that is wonderful. As an institute, yeah, I think we should clap for that. The reason I am asking this question is we don't do it. So we are the culprit here, the corporates. The corporates are not considering paper as a resource which is finally doing what? Which is coming out of felling of trees only, no? Artificially or artificial intelligence and innovation, digital innovation cannot bring out a piece of paper. But there are many companies in cyber city, including Gartner, they have a policy of no printing, unless it's a legal paper. Many years back, many companies decided not to have a printer every floor, so that they make the job difficult for the person to go and take a printout. Now imagine the paper, even if I made a calculation, just to tell you the number, if you are using, every human being, 10 pieces of paper every day, A4 size, at an average, it could be much more. Normal working life, you will be responsible for felling off a standard tree of 45 numbers. So that means, but what should be the silver lining? The silver lining is that one thing what you are already doing, you have an accounting code for papers so that you can monitor, not in terms of cost, but in terms of tons of paper which is being used. But the second point is, why can't we plant trees? If I am responsible for felling of 45 trees, and typical mortality rate of trees we consider as 50%. So if I plant 90 trees, then perhaps 45 trees would survive. Then I can say that I am a paper neutral person. We are calling ourselves doctor. We can call ourselves a doctor paper neutral, Dr. Sanjay. Now this 2-3 things only I want to conclude with is that individually we may be thinking, what can I contribute? But these small things, if these things should have happened in Bangalore, the water stress would not have been there. You need to stop that drop. We need to be very careful. Most of the condominiums in NCR region are recycling water, and we have to be most of the old buildings are having their own irrigation system, the lift systems, the borewell systems, but nobody comes to check how much water has been depleted. But we need to stop that drop of water. We need to switch it off individually. That is going to add, this may look very small. We need to switch it off, and we need to actually go and take a walk on the outside to smell the air, to know what is happening, and corporates, what we have been doing. Do you know how do you charge the aquifer, the water aquifer? That is where I find there is a scope of digital innovation. Today, water, nobody knows water depletion has happened to what extent. Now, if you can find a digital innovation where you know that if I'm having a water harvesting system, like you must be having in the campus here, if I'm able to increase the aquifer by 1 feet, then tomorrow a system like water credit may be available just like carbon credit. It is possible. But today that innovation is not available. Similarly, in terms of emission reduction, today it is perhaps close to, you know what are the costs that is involved in reduction of emissions worldwide? 40 billion tons is emitted worldwide, and the Dubai target is 43% reduction by 2030. That makes it 17 billion tons reduction. And the cost, even if you take a surrogate number by putting up solar power plants, the cost ballpark estimate is $7 to $8 trillion. $7 to $8 trillion over a period of 7 to 8 years. That means $1 trillion per annum. Where is the money? That is where I am saying money is not available, but we are available as individuals. So this is what individually, corporates, what we are doing primarily is, this water recharging, the only answer to this question is, I don't know how many of you have visited a village in last 1, 2, 3, 4 months. Village pond is there, uncemented. The only way to recharge water is having an uncemented pond. That's why ITC calling itself as a water positive company. Because through CSR, they have opened so many ponds, they calculate the runoff water that is stored, and they say we have recharged the aquifer to that extent. So that is how they do. And emission, individually, we are responsible that much. I'll end with one thing what Dr. Sanjay has been telling me. In my room, he told me that Bhagavad Gita says one thing, and they have done it 5,000 years back. Unbelievable. And what do they say? Let the human community protect the environment for their own survival and the biodiversity around. 5,000 years back. Remember it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your esteemed presence and enlightening us with your plethora of knowledge and enriched experiences. With profound gratitude, I am delighted to invite one of the strongest pillars of Manav Rachna and our prime source of motivation, Honorable Vice Chancellor, MRIIRS, Dr. Sanjay Srivastava. Thank you, sir.
Esteemed Vibhuti Ranjan Pradhanji, Executive Director of Indian Oil Corporation and the figurehead of Indian Institute of Petroleum and Management, and an alumnus of Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. And in my association with many participants at IAPM, few of them who worked very closely they describe him as a very, very different leader. And we are immensely grateful to you, Pradhan Sahab, for sparing your valuable time and adding invaluable value to this annual feature of our management school. Please put your hands together for Pradhan Sahab. On dais, I start with Priyanka ji. For this day and tomorrow, the team of Priyanka ji and Soma, they work day and night for this day and tomorrow. Accept my admiration, our ED and Dean of the university, Professor Dr. Sarita Sachdeva. By profession, she's a biotechnologist. And when Pradhan Sahab was talking to us about our personal sustainability issues and the responsibility of water, she was also edging at the chair and was very happy. And I shall be talking to you what we are doing in our own humble way. The Dean of Business School, she herself is an epitome of sustainability and character both. Professor Dr. Dipti Dabas ji, Professor Dr. Rene Ruth, you traveled all the way from Frankfurt to be with us. We are immensely grateful to you. And please put your hands together. A person traveled all the way from Germany to be with us. Dr. Rene Ruth, okay, I pronounced rightly. On my front, all the deans, directors, head of the departments. I take one name, Professor Nand Dhamija ji, who is again an epitome of sustainability to the School of Leadership and Management. And when it comes to personal sustainability, on the left-hand side, Professor Dr. Anand Prakash, who has seen me from past 31 years. He has seen me when I was fumbling and scared how to speak. Since then and today, must be a very proud person within heart of his heart, I am sure. Originally, I have requested Deepti ji that please excuse me from, I shall be sitting here, but I will not speak, but they pressurize so much, you have no space. The two bosses of the management school, Professor Bhavesh ji, Professor Amandeep ji, and many of you dear participants and students of B School. Sir, I have planned to talk to you all differently, but when Deepti ji was talking, I thought I'll speak something else. Then Dr. Rene Ruth talked, I thought to speak something else. And then when you have spoken, the total trajectory changed. Now let me, so you know the responsibility of a Vice Chancellor. We have as many as 38 departments, including 17 of them from dentistry. And I have to speak everywhere, and hopefully to make sense also. Sir, coming to Manav Rachna Educational Institution, we are 27 years old, NAC A++ university. And when it comes to sustainability, we are a university committed for our community. This was the dream of our founder, Dr. O.P. Bhalla. As a university, we have adopted 10 villages from past 20 years or so. And each student in their own setup, in their own context, they visit the village. Sir, you shall be happy to know that our university was given the responsibility by the government of Haryana to revive Badkal Lake. And I am happy to share that Faridabad is one of the smart 100 cities of the country in the first phase, because our humble contribution in reviving Badkhal Lake of Faridabad. Now the lake has water. And credit goes to our team of scientists, biotechnologists who sit in A block. They are known as Center of Advanced Water Technology and Management. Dr. Sarita Sachdeva is very closely day and night working for them. For sustainability, sir, you talked about Bangalore crisis. Our university is committed for Atal Jal Jeevan Mission responsibility, Atal Bhujal Yojana, and from past many years, we are working continuously for Haryana as a state and for our Faridabad city also. Our campus is a zero discharge campus, and we also have our own setup in terms of biotechnology and biodiversity, about which we shall be talking to you during the break, and I shall be requesting Dr. Sarita Sachdeva to talk to you. So, sir, we are doing our work on sustainability front. Coming back to personal sustainability, about which you talked to, I said Professor Anand Prakash, my teacher, and when we talk about sustainable growth, it is all about what you have done as a person. And when I say as a person, I have written few points that when you take the responsibility from where you are and you are leading from the front, you are contributing for sustainability. Because each one of us are responsible for sustainability and for humanity. फराज राइट्स, हवा का जोर ही काफ़ी बहाना होता है अगर चिराग किसी को जलाना होता है। हवा का जोर ही काफ़ी बहाना होता है अगर चिराग किसी को जलाना होता है। ज़ुबानी दावे तो बहुत लोग करते हैं, ज़ुबानी दावे तो बहुत लोग करते हैं, पर जुनू के काम को करके दिखाना होता है। When we talk about sustainability, well done is always better than well said. As a university, you all known for well done rather than well said. On this auspicious day, I appeal to you all that work harder and ensure that whatever job you are doing, make difference. And as a person, as an individual, for sustainable growth and my leadership takeaway would be, it is all about your contribution. And at the end of the day, everyone notices how as a person you have contributed. Nobody remembers anything, but it is all about your contribution as a person. The physics, chemistry of life is nothing but your contribution. The algebra of life, what Dr. Pritam Singh used to say, is your contribution. And those who live selflessly, they never die when it comes to any context of life. And every time, only Sunday, sir, we have, from past 17 years, we have a very popular cricket tournament, corporate cricket tournament, when 24 powerful teams from corporate India, including IOCL, they got the Fair Play Award 2024 or this year. Clap for IOCL. So, that was the 17th year, 50 days of cricket match, 24 participating teams, some of the bigger names like team of Supreme Court of India, team Indian Oil Corporation, team from Maruti, and some of the top corporate, they come participate. And I was talking to all the players and many people from different fraternity of life, and press media were there. And I said that people like Dr. O.P. Bhalla, who dreamt 17 years back that Manav Rachna should have a cricket tournament. And those who live selflessly, they never die. When we talk about sustainability, how you contribute meaningfully, that makes the difference. And to conclude, Vibhuti Sahab talked about Srimad Bhagavad Gita, let me also conclude with Srimad Bhagavad Gita, but my different way. To me, for sustainable growth, it is leadership responsibility to make invisible visible. जुनू के काम को करके दिखाना होता है, हवा का जोर ही काफी बहाना होता है. Make invisible visible. Inspiration is always invisible, but inspired action is always visible. Trust is strength and integrity. I repeat, trust. When you say trust me, this person has integrity and strength are all invisible. But trustworthy behavior, empowered action, and principled efforts are always visible. And that leads to sustainability. And Lord of Shri writes in chapter 15 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita that this life is nothing, but he used a metaphorical word. The chapter is known as Purushottam Yoga, and the first verse talks about the tree of life. And this is the 7th verse, which says that this life is nothing but like a flower. If you ever smelled a flower, अगर आपके पास किसी एक अच्छे फूल की खुशबू है तो वो आपकी नाक में आज भी कैद है. And if a person who has contributed is like that fragrance in the mind of people. And Lord says, Shariram yat avapnoti yat chapi utkramanti ishvara grihitva eva etani sanyati vayugandhan ashyat. Lord says that lead a life that when you leave this world, people remember your fragrance, and this fragrance is the differentiator. With this, please accept my admiration, best wishes, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your highly valued words of wisdom and constant guidance to the School of Leadership and Management. I now invite and welcome Dr. Soma Arora, convener of the International Conference, to propose vote of thanks for the inaugural session.
Thank you, Dr. Swati. As usual, it is very difficult to say anything after Sanjay sir has spoken to all of us, even if it is vote of thanks. But I'll make an attempt because sir is such a good speaker. So I have to bring close to this ceremony with a vote of thanks which I propose. I'm honored to propose the vote of thanks today for the 5th edition of MRCON at SLMPG with deepest gratitude towards our chief patron, Ms. Satya Bhalla ma'am, the Chancellor, Dr. Prashant Bhalla sir, the Vice President, Dr. Amit Bhalla sir, their patronage and blessings all over the years for us, for MRCON and for SLM. My everlasting gratitude towards VC sir, Professor Dr. Sanjay Srivastav, my mentor, supervisor, whose guidance conceptualized and delivered this fabulous event. Without sir's guidance, we wouldn't have achieved whatever we have at this department. A very big thank you to Mr. Vibhuti Ranjan Pradhan. He's the Executive Director of IIPM, who set the direction for this conference, where we begin the technical sessions today under the aegis of sustainability, and gave this 5th edition a new wing. My sincere heartfelt thanks towards Dr. Rene Ruth, our guest of honor from IMC, who made this conference international, an extremely cooperative, warm-hearted German who loves coming back to India. He looks forward to Manav Rachna as his partner for academics and knowledge. Our special thanks to PVC Dr. Naresh Grover, who joined us for a while, and his presence completed the full circle for Manav Rachna MRCON. Warm regards to our Dean Research, Dr. Sarita Sachdeva, for sharing her views of the research ecosystem in India and Manav Rachna. She is spearheading the research quotient, and Manav Rachna will make strong strides with the H-index, I'm sure. Above all, our Dean, Professor Dr. Dipti Dabas, her leadership is immense for this conference. This conference would not be possible without her support. Every member of our team at SLM echoes my sentiment on her commendable hand-holding, which is leading the team to success. Last but not the least, of course, is the administrative team with our professor, with Mr. Atul Kalra heading it, and the entire staff, which is with Mr. Atul Kalra to make this event a success, and the entire team of faculty members who are with us at every step to make this program a success. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everybody, for the conference. We look forward to the technical sessions.
Thank you, ma'am. Approaching towards the end of inaugural. Post this, we have networking tea for the registered participants, followed by technical sessions of the conference on the first floor. Everyone is now requested to please rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I humbly request all the dignitaries on the dais to please proceed to the ground floor for tea. Thank you.